Oops. Start streaming. So, we're gonna start a stream. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna stream this whole thing. I don't know if I mentioned that. iPad Rehab is live! Yes, iPad Rehab is live. And this is the face of iPad Rehab after I went on a motorcycle ride. That was pretty awesome. It's true. Cool. I just went on a motorcycle ride. All right, so I'll come hang out with you over here. Slide over. All right, who the hell are you?
I am Jason. I am the creator of the Magic Glass tool.
The Magic Glass. Whoa, have you been sitting over here all week, is it like that at your station too?
Yeah. You'll just start getting pulled out of nowhere. Yeah.
That is a hoot. All right, let me make this so that we can see. All right, so Jason was here for the course all week. The course has just wrapped up in the last 1 minute.
You know what, this is barely heating up.
What do you mean it's barely? Are you saying my Chinese?
It's been at 60 for a minute.
My Chinese tool is not good. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No.
All right, let's try to make that work. That's hot, man. That's reptile hot. Wouldn't you like to take a nap on here?
Reptile hot.
You know what would be? This would be awesome on that motorcycle. Cause that shit was cold.
On that ride to Canada,
yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He would have definitely needed one of these.
Yeah. So student Andre is right now riding his motorcycle. How many miles is that? 500 miles or something, all the way back to Nova Scotia.
It's a lot of miles.
All right. So how hot do you want this to be?
70, 80 degrees.
70, 80 degrees. All right. Did you go to manual and say 90? You put it on 90? All right. That'll work. So it's going to heat up. We're going to chat. So you invented something.
Yes, I did.
Why?
Because I saw that there was a need in the industry.
I can't see. You gotta slide over.
I saw that there was a need in the industry.
Now you can just see your bald spot. By the way, you have a bald spot.
Thank you. So I saw that there was a need in the industry for a tool.
Yeah.
Me, myself, several other business owners, we had already gone through the issues of cracking screens, using the accessible tools, cracking screens, using different tools by not having enough clearance to get in between that.
Are you super nervous right now?
No, there's no AC in here. That's why I'm really hot.
The AC guy said there was nothing wrong, by the way.
Yeah.
Did you see that where he came in with his little
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
He was it's fine.
Yeah, right.
It's if it's really gets hot, you need to call back because I think it's fine.
Oh my god. Yeah.
All right. So when was this that you decided to invent the tool?
About 2.5 years ago, more or less. So we started going around trying to find partnerships that didn't really result in our best interest. So I ended up just moving forward with the tool. We placed the order for hundreds of them. We already sold about 400 or 500 tools. We have an order right now at the moment coming in for another 1,000, and the tool has really been selling pretty good. People love it. Pretty much gotten nothing but good feedback, and people seem to really love it. It's really saving people a lot of time and allowing them to make more money with their repairs.
It looks like the iFlex.
It does look like the iFlex. It's nothing compared to the iFlex. The Magic Glass tool is definitely a lot more versatile, a lot more resilient when it comes to being able to do repairs. The Magic Glass tool is definitely the best way to go when it comes to being able to open up your digitized.
All right, let me check it out. All right, so this is thin, and it says Magic Glass tool, and you hold it like this, and it's for separating the adhesive on iPads.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you can open a phone with it.
Yeah, you can also open all iPhones, the 5s, 6s, 6S, 7s. You just might want to heat it up to melt that adhesive a little bit. 10-15 seconds, and that tool will allow you to just pop it right up. If you just come in right from the sides, you don't really have to worry about damaging anything, and you just move the tool from left to right, pop, 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 both sides. It's gonna pop the screens right up. With the iPads, it's gonna take a little bit longer. You want to heat up the screen. You're gonna have to work your way around the screen, work your way around the edge, and pretty much just a jiggling back and forth motion, because the Magic Glass tool has that curved design from end to end. It's gonna pretty much allow you to use the whole tool without having to take it back out and put it back in and take it back out and put it back in.
I'm gonna try it.
Go for it.
All right. So where do I start? Anywhere?
We'll pretty much start anywhere. Usually I like starting at the The bottom right.
The bottom
Yeah,
right?
you should have like starting over here. And
Over
then
here?
end up on the side that we're
Because
open
that's the
first.
bottom left.
I'm sorry, bottom left, yes.
Okay. Alright.
And the best, your anchor point, really, you want it to be the middle of the tool.
Okay. Alright, I get it.
And as you're working it up the glass, you can also
Yeah.
pry towards you a little bit.
Mhm.
50-50, 50-50 jiggle, 50-50 pull at the same time.
50-50 jiggle,
Mhm.
50-50 pull.
Yep.
Got it. Alright, now that on the,
And
what is this?
We don't-
Is this an air?
yes, an iPad.
Alright, so that means that shit is over there, okay.
And we're not looking for no heroes. You might have to heat it up for a little bit more, you know, after you get about halfway through
I don't need to heat
the
up.
digitizer.
That's pretty sweet, I have to say.
Yeah, you know, compared to the other options that are available to the industry right now,
You totally sound like a salesperson.
I sound like somebody who's been in the business for a long time, has dealt with all sorts of issues and aggravation, been on the other end of a shitty stick. So,
Oh yeah, tell us a story, a bad story. Got any bad stories?
you know, running late at the shop, got all these iPads to knock out, you know, you got the customer up front acting crazy, I need my iPad, I'm leaving town in 2 minutes, you know, like everybody always is, and you try to rush through the repair, you're not using the proper tool, and pop!
You know what's really, that you should sell this with? A giant pair of tits. Like, look, it's like so easy. It's
Yeah.
got- I mean, look at this. I'm serious. You need to get
Tits in
some.
the tool.
Yeah, exactly. Just saying.
Yeah.
It's nice and warm. I like it. I'm just saying. Now, do you use, are you like one of those guitar pick guys?
No, I do not use
You're not a fan of guitar pick?
No.
I kind of like this. I mean, I'm like super skeptical of shit. So most stuff I don't like, but I like this definitely. Must say.
It's
Must
a
say.
very efficient tool.
Yeah, I mean, so this is a local OEM sealed, never been opened iPad that's here for charging. Now, how do I like not fuck up the home button around here?
The home button, you don't want to go too deep in around the home button area.
Just the tip?
Just the tip.
Okay, gotcha.
And you might want to wet the tip a little bit.
Okay. Alright, I see. Alright, so nice tool. I use old Reball stencil, same thing. It kind of makes it kind of.
Yeah, reball stencil, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Now, how do you clean the shit off of it?
Just rubbing alcohol, you know, at the end of each work day, you know, after each repair, I got a little Tupperware bowl.
I like how you can kind of turn it around
Yeah.
and like
The
other
whole
side is
entire
clear.
tool could be used. The flat side of the tool also, once you're done taking that screen off, any adhesive that you have to remove, you can just take that Sharpie edge and just scrape it all around the edge, pop, pop, pop. It'll take it right off. For you guys
Bada
that
bing,
use
bada boom.
B7000, you know, after you take that screen off, that B7000 is still gonna be around the edges of the screen. That tool, you can just scrape it right off. It's all gonna come right
cool.
off.
A new tool.
You don't really have
Hello,
to work
please
too
show
much.
your boobs. They're talking to you.
You gotta pay extra
Don't
for that.
ask him to do that. What's wrong with you? God, YouTube. All right.
It's funny.
Okay. Hi from Algeria.
Wow.
Yeah, Algeria's gonna get some shit opened up. All right.
I want to put some pizza.
You want to put some heat to that
I would say so.
because you're freaking out that I'm gonna crack this glass.
No, if you crack the glass, you crack.
That is true.
Can't blame the tool.
Okay. But I
But
feel
it's not
like
necessary.
I feel like I'm almost like all the way around.
Oh, you are.
So close. I don't want to heat it up again. I don't want to heat it up again. Now what's under there? I forgot. What do I need to?
You got the.
I have
Wi-Fi.
not opened an iPad in years.
Jessa has people who do that.
Jessa has people who do that. What'd you think of the course?
The course was amazing. I've been in the industry for about 10 years, you know, only until recently that I feel the need to extend my skills, and I was very skeptical. There's dozens of courses all over the place, inclusive in Florida.
Were you one of the guys that went to Wild PCS?
No,
Oh,
I did
see,
not go
you're
to Wild
smart.
PCS.
Yeah.
I have hired a couple of technicians who actually went to Wild
Oh,
PCS.
right.
And,
Where you were the one that was like, why are you
scrubbing
using
bubbles? Yeah, this tech one time was doing water damage repair, and he just busted out the scrubbing bubbles out of his tool, and I couldn't figure out how you got from point A to point B. That was interesting.
All right.
They definitely have interesting practices over there.
I'm almost got this.
Just use it like a knife.
Oh yeah. I see what you mean about the wiggle and the jiggle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
You can make the tool work for you the whole entire time.
Yeah, I like it. Definitely like it. All right. Now, how are you gonna fix this? By the way, you gotta also fix this here for charging.
Charging? Let's do it.
All right.
We'll do it.
All right. So that's opened up. Boom. All right. I think that was pretty great. I have not opened an iPad in as long as I can remember. I'm gonna get rid of this. And that was pretty easy.
And this screen's not cracked.
Screen
All
is
of you
not
guys know
cracked.
you
Look
watch
at
the
that,
YouTube
professional.
videos.
Totally.
You watch the
professional.
YouTube videos, and the guy just sticks the spudger in, and the screen just kind of falls off on its own, and they're like, "Oh, see, it's that easy." We all know it's not.
Yeah, it's not that easy. All right, so let's steal Bruce's tools because he's not here now, and see if we can. How are you going to diagnose this? Get the note. What is it? What's this even in here for? I thought it said charging. You know what we're going to do? We're going to find. You know what we're getting ready to find out? 100% guaranteed that this had it lit in the charge port. 100% guaranteed. Now, how many iPads do you guys do?
No power, no charge.
No power.
iPads, I'd say we do about 3-4 iPads on a daily basis, more or less.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
I do like 3-4 a year. Try to keep it to that. Don't want to get too busy. All right. What's going on in chat? Is there anything that's not a spam comment?
He's sweating too much when he's sitting next to Jess.
That's the spam comment. See, we don't read those out loud. What tool is this? It is the
I just used a hammer. Yeah, stop trolling.
magic glass tool. Whoops. Unbreakable. Just dropped it. David here from PBRS October. Can I get one of these shipped to the UK?
You sure
Do
can.
you do international shipping?
I have not started doing international shipping, but you can go to our website, send us an email, and I will make sure I get your international order set up, and I'll get you a quote.
All right. So you want to sell me some of these for the iPad Rehab Supply Store?
Yeah, I think you guys could definitely do very well with the tool and help a lot of people out along the way.
I like this tool.
Yeah, you know, out of all the tools in the business, there's lots of them, little cool nifty gadgets that don't work, and it's stressful, you know, when you have that happen. So when you have a tool that you purchase and actually does what it says, it's always pleasant.
Yeah. Do I need to disconnect the battery, do you think, on this iPad Air?
I would suggest disconnecting the battery. That would probably be good practice.
All right, how are you going to diagnose whether or not this thing has a charging issue or not? What tool are you going to use?
First, we're going to use the USB ammeter.
Yes. Smart. Look at you.
We will see if the device is drawing a charge or not.
All right, why don't you grab one and drag it over here. All right. Now, this is an unopened iPad Air, so what do you think, if it has a charging problem, is going to be the most likely reason why this thing doesn't charge?
Well, eliminating the fact of lint being in the connector.
You are right. Lint in the connector would be the number one reason. You're absolutely right.
We see that a lot.
What's the number one rule
To what?
of board repair? You don't
Have a board problem unless you have a parts problem.
well, unless you know you
Well,
don't
have a parts problem. Correct.
All right. Where did Bruce put his tweezers? Because I don't see them. God damn it. God damn it. All right. Nice. All right. So are you gonna change any of your equipment back at home after the course, or not really?
I have lots of equipment to change. Yes.
Like
yes. Ultrasonic, the hot air station, the soldering station, everything has to go. It's tough. It's tough to being able to know that you're at an advantage and you're actually doing things right when you have such crappy equipment. You've probably been beating yourself over the head for years, saying, this is so hard, it's so tough, I can't do this. And your main problem is probably the tools that you're using.
Yeah. Alrighty. Okay, there we go. Alright. I did take out the battery, but I'm going to connect it back so you can see if this thing is pulling normal charging current or not. Alright, here. Hook it up. Let's see. Alright. Lint in an iPad. Yeah, from people that carry it in their giant linty purses.
Definitely drawing current. 0.26.
Lint in an iPad. Yeah.
So it's definitely drawing current.
Oh, well, what is the normal current draw for an iPad?
Should be higher than that.
Yeah, it should be higher than that. You're absolutely right. All right, so let's try to make it, so let's actually go back to regular setup. Let's actually try to fix this. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Let's move that around. All right, let me move that back to normal setup. And make it be kind of pointing. All right, we can kind of hang out like that. Alrighty. So that we can see. Alright, how many Diet Cokes did you drink this week at the course?
Diet, none.
None?
I have my share of sodas.
Oh, this is the cool retail packaging for the Magic Glass tool. What was the best day of lunch at iPad Rehab?
The pulled pork sandwich.
The pulled pork?
Pulled pork sandwich.
That was new. That was just, you know why we had that? Because Gene went and played hooky and went kayaking on whatever day that was, yesterday, I guess. All
the
right.
Magic Glass tool also comes with a glove.
Michael Jackson glove.
Definitely awesome. It's not a cheapy glove. Definitely a very thick glove to enable you through the repair.
All right, let's go find all my stuff that's scattered around. All right, where's my USB ammeter that lives in here and that charging block? Is that the one that was over there?
No, I was gonna put it over there. This one's over there.
Who stole? Oh, here we go. All right. Let's see. I have an iPad mini with no liquid damage. Oh, look at this. This is totally you. You're all over this. Are you ready? Look at this guy. Are you ready? I have an iPad mini with no liquid damage and a short on PP3V3. In your experience, is there a common failure point here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. On 3v3 out on the iPad mini. Yep, there is definitely a common failure point there.
He said, does he have to nut it out? That's what he's from. Do I have to nut
Do
it
I
out?
have to nut it out? We're not really sure what nut it out means. Do I have to nut it out? He did say you have to nut it out. No, you don't have to nut it out. What's the likelihood that he's going to be able to fix it today?
It's not. There is no
We're going to
likelihood.
go 5% chance.
You got to come to the iPad Rehab course. Truth of the matter is, you can watch a lot of videos online, but unless you study the fundamentals, it's really tough.
All right, so that, you're right, is low. So it is pulling some charging current, but it is low. So before we move on, let's check to see if it's just a software issue and if it's detected in DFU mode. Yes, so let's just check on that. So we'll plug that in there for a second. Magic Glass tool, did I miss it? Kind of. You can rewind to the start, or we can have Jason show us again. The Magic Glass tool, which I just used to open.
You guys see the tool almost disappears into thin air. You can't even see it.
Oh wow, that is pretty cool. It is pretty sweet. Go get a phone and see if you can open it. See if you can dig up an unopened phone. Oh wait, is this unopened? Here we go.
Oh, we got a phone right here.
That one's too easy. That one you can just open by staring at it and screaming open. All right. Let's see. I'm going to go with this iPad is not detected by iTunes. All right. 1 amp with a 1016A1. I don't know what 1016A1 is. Sounds like 1610A1, which sounds like you're talking about some kind of TriStar thing, but that's not enough letters and words to make a statement. So what tools would I need to start repairing iPads, iPods, and iPhones? Number 1 tool, you would need an analytical mindset. Ding, ding.
Oh my God, knowledge. That's all I had in my mind was knowledge.
That's right, knowledge. First tool. Number 2, you need...
Jessa's parts list.
Jessa's part. You need to click the video description and order stuff. No, seriously, if you want to just start fixing phones, you need some screwdrivers and some parts. And maybe one of these. And what else do you need to fix a phone? Maybe a magnet tray or a magnet mat or a screw mat?
Yeah, screw mat. That's probably pretty helpful.
What else do you really need to do phones?
Screwdrivers.
Drivers, parts.
Yep.
And
money.
And money.
You don't want to be doing phone repair on a budget. It's the wrong way to start. If you're not willing to invest in yourself, it's hard for other people to be willing to invest in you.
So iPads, though, you need something like that heat mat.
You need a heat mat for the iPads.
Or you could use
Magic Glass tool would definitely help you guys out a lot with the repairs. I know a lot of you guys have been doing iPads for years. You guys think you're professionals. Even better, if you know you're so good at doing iPad repairs and you use this tool, you're going to do any repair that you're doing a lot faster. Unquestionably.
Let's see. David Yates says, I miss those practical board repair school lunches. Yeah.
So yeah, this phone's on, and who knows how long it's been on for. I took the paper out from around
What's wrong with it? What's it here for? Phone won't turn on.
Won't charge. iPhone 6s. No power solution.
All right.
It definitely has power.
Here, why don't you see if that thing... Where's this guy? Here, let's check it out. All right, tell me what you think about its ability to charge.
It's pretty much non-existent.
Fucked up.
Yep.
All right. So show us how that little thing can make that get that opened up really easy. Well, I take the board out of the iPad Air. So iPad Air was not recognized in DFU mode, and we're gonna have to take the board out then so that we can look at the charge port and think about doing whatever other repairs. We saw a cool iPad Air 2 this week. Thought it was pretty cool. Came up with a really interesting new hypothesis on all these air charging problems. Pape recommends AC adapters 100% decoupled and isolated.
AC adapters.
Jonathan Dick says that he's sure he can figure it out. He just wanted to save time. Took you guys 4 hours.
Yeah.
That was a tough day. But in the end, you guys did it.
What we learned was definitely worth it.
Yeah. That was painful, though. That was painful for me. I kind of yelled at you guys a lot. Sorry about that.
Troll us in the stream.
And then I trolled you in the stream later.
We were watching her live from the hotel, and she's like, I almost shot myself today.
And it was true.
Knew what she was talking
but you guys knew I almost shot myself. Yeah. I mean, like, the first clue would be
we
when...
We tested all the components on the board, literally all around. The 2 only components that were not working properly.
Yeah,
she literally almost shot herself.
It was so painful. They were, because it's all broadcast up there, and these guys have the multimeter, and so they're like, nope, and I'm staring at it. It's right here. Nope, and then they kind of talk, and then they come back, and then they start over here. Nope, and the next one, he's getting ready to touch it, and then he stops and he goes, think we should look at the schematic? I was just like, oh! Oh God, that was
So just to show you guys how to get into these iPhones, this is a iPhone 6s. As most of you know, it comes with the adhesive around the edge. So with the Magic Glass tool, you just pop it in on the side of the frame, and all you have to do is move it up and down, and that's it. That screen just comes right off. You do it from each one of the sides,
like shucking,
and you're good to go. Just like shucking an oyster. Yeah,
yes.
correct. You do it on each side, both left and right, and the screen just comes right off. If you guys have ever cracked the screen doing a removal, sticking the isesimal in between that clearance, which is not there, get yourself a Magic Glass tool, and it's definitely going to help you out in the repairs. Whether it's an iPhone 7, an iPhone 5, an iPhone 6, it doesn't really matter.
All right. This is taking me forever. Do you want to have a race and see if you can change TriStar on that phone before I do this one? So what? So that phone is just sitting there at the Apple logo. Did it actually turn on?
It turned off.
All right.
Turned off.
It finally ran out of batteries. All right, let's move all this stuff over. So how do I sign up for the course? You go to the iPad Rehab website and click on the Practical Board Repair School tab, and you can read about the course, and then you can, at the bottom of that page is a sign up link. How many months did you have to wait?
I wanted to come in January. I didn't know how serious it really was, and I went to sign up in January, and I was already thinking about this since last year, so I waited till January. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go in January, so I went to sign up. She was sold out for months, yeah, and she was sold out for months, and then I really freaked out, and finally I found the spot down in March, and I was like, oh, thank God, I'm saved, and here I am now.
Oh.
And I checked the schedule before I even came up just to see, and she's already booked for months, so.
Well, we did.
She's always booked for months.
Well, we did. I know that's like a big drag, but you saw how exhausting that course is. So, there's no way I could do it. I don't think I could. I can't do it more often. I don't think.
No.
I would die.
You would have special powers at that point. we would come to the store at 8:30 in the morning. She's here at 8:30. We would all be at the hotel at like 11 o'clock, and there she pops up live, streaming, still from the shop, still here, still working.
Yeah. We got to start doing our work when the
dedication
day is done, man.
Is definitely present.
Except for that one night. That stream was a little... The night after the sex toy mini, that was when I had to break open the Christmas bottle of wine. All right, give me that flex thing. I want to try to get this board out. Yeah, like I really think this is pretty handy. You know what I mean? Like this air board.
That's exactly what I use for the minis and the airs.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Here, let's look under the microscope. Like getting this board out without breaking it is hard. Let's see. Yeah, I like that. That is awesome. That is sweet, man.
It's good stuff.
So what was it like? So you were like, I'm going to make a tool. How do you have any idea how to source and fabricate and shit?
And months of research. I have probably spoken to every steel manufacturer in the United States.
Oh yeah?
I flew to 2 different states. Every freaking industry plant in South Florida, I was definitely there. I definitely spoken to all the owners. And yeah, it was definitely a long ride, that's for sure. A lot of research and development.
That is pretty nice. That feels really safe.
The tool is so thin that during the manufacturing process, there's a lot of discard of wasted steel because it gets burnt during the process.
Okay.
And a lot of people who more or less had the ability to make the tool, they didn't want to take that risk of burning it through the tools. But we were able to find a distributor who they were able to overcome that.
Who wasn't a douche.
Huh?
You found a guy who wasn't a douche.
Somebody who definitely had some analytical thinking and said, hey, let's think about outside the box and let's see how we can make this possible.
Nice. Yeah, I like this for getting this board out. Because I'm always afraid of just breaking it.
Yeah.
But that's pretty sweet. I mean, it really does cut through that adhesive under there.
I saw a video of,
like it.
It was a video or a picture. I think it was a picture of an iPad mini a split in half iPad mini that you ran jumpers from.
The one that caught on fire?
I don't know. This was online that I saw it. But it was a split in half iPad mini, and there was just wires running from this cracked part of the board to the other cracked part of the board. I found it insane.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was on Instagram. Yeah. It's funny. I started keeping my pets. Like the iPad Air that has a hole in it, which I still haven't ever gotten that video to actually post. All right, what else is going on chat? All right.
Yeah, the Magic Glass tool can be used on any Surface tablets, any Samsung tablet, any sort of tablet whatsoever. There's no tablet specific, there's no phone specific to the tool. Any sort of tablet, any sort of phone, any iPod Touch, iPad mini.
What about iPhone first generation and iPhone 1?
Probably not compatible. Nah, I'm just joking. Yeah, you could still use it on an iPhone 1.
Have you ever seen an iPhone 1?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I
was
don't
around
know.
for that.
I don't know that I ever saw an iPhone 1.
Yeah, I saw a lot of those.
Well, did you fix them or you had one?
No, I fixed them. I was fixing phones towards like the beginning of the iPhone, end of the Blackberries.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I started fixing
The
phones.
end of the Blackberries. All right. Tell me about your first repair.
Oh, my first repair, that's simple. That was my personal desktop, which is what got me into the business.
Yeah?
I was young. It's like 15, 16. My desktop took a shit. Called around a couple shops. And I found it a little surprising that I was already being quoted prices without anybody really necessarily looking at the issue on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody really even knew what the issue was. So I kind of found it a little odd that I was getting quotes for a couple $100s on a repair when people didn't even know what the issue was.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, sometimes you might have a specific issue, but I was only giving them general issues as to what's going on. They would have definitely had to diagnose the computer to know exactly what
Did they
was going on.
advise that you tried turning it off and on?
No, that they did not. They were just concerned with me just coming in with a couple $100.
Okay, gotcha.
But I did a little bit of research on the internet, you know, try to narrow down what was going on with the computer and what was happening and what I could do about it. And I was able to narrow down the issue with some little bit further research. I was able to find the part that I needed to replace, and I fixed my own desktop.
Nice.
And when I fixed the desktop, you know, it was a little surprising, you know, to think, hey, you know, I just did a little bit of research. I was able to take care of this myself, and I saved myself the $200 on average that I was being quoted.
Yeah.
So that was fun. That was a lot of fun, and
How
I
old
knew
were
there
you?
was something there. Huh?
How old were you?
I would say 15, 16 more or less.
Mm-hmm.
I was young, still living at my house. So then I started doing repairs. You know, just started doing some computers, some phones.
All right, we're going to give this iPad Air a new charge port just because iPad Air charge ports are janky. So we saw some of these in the course. This one doesn't look too bad, but some of the ones that we looked at were ridiculous.
Oh yeah, brand new charge ports had cracked joints. The joints looked like they were put on with a toothbrush. It was definitely funky.
Yeah. So this one doesn't jump out at me as like, oh yeah, that's definitely it. But just sort of because of a, you know, kind of a matter of housekeeping, we're gonna do that. So let's just grab a new port for this and then rule that out before thinking about anything else. So this is what I was talking about with the going over it with the leaded. So we're gonna go over it with leaded. Just ordered the last microscope from Amazon from your link. Thanks. Thank you for supporting the iPad Rehab Amazon Affiliates program. All right. So I'm gonna go over this with leaded solder to make an alloy, and that's gonna make it really easy to lift that sucker up with hot air. All right, there we go. My son is addicted to the iPad. The other day he dropped it and it quit working. Wondering if I brought my kid in, can you fix him? Well, I would probably do the same repair on the kid as I would on an iPad that dropped and stopped working, which would just be the smack on the back method. Are you familiar with that? iPad 2 was working fine, and then all of a sudden, no image after a drop, but it doesn't have a cracked screen.
Yeah, shake it around, probably has a cap that fell out.
If you give it a big old smack on the back, you can reseat the LCD cable. Alright, so now with some hot air, this thing just kind of almost comes up by itself. We've got the... Get back here, you mofo. So we're just going to heat it up the solder joints, and then it's really just kind of held on by the adhesive. Which is on the other side of this. I really wish that I had bothered to put this, to hold this down, but I didn't. There we go. See? Little help. Nice. Now it's stuck to your finger. Yay! Alright. So it comes off easy. And we will go over these pads. Now this is sort of that braid or not to braid question. And in this case, I will braid. And I'm going to braid because I want to have leaded joints and not lead-free joints.
Now, is there a specific way you would braid these pads? Would you go from top to bottom, or would you go across from left to right?
I would go in the direction of the pad. So I don't want to go crossways if possible. So let me cut this and braid away. Braid away. All right. Did those guys make their flight?
I don't know.
Sean was really sweating it.
Wait, his flight was at 7.
His flight, yeah, like his flight has already landed at wherever he was going, and it feels like he was just here a second ago. So yeah, he was sweating. What time was Michael's flight?
Oh, nice! Look at that.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. All right. So let's. All right, let's.
Oh, and by the way, guys, the tool, you guys can just go on eBay and just type in Magic Glass Tool, and it'll pop up all over the place. Or you can just go to our website, www.smarttechinnovators.com.
That's going to make me a lot less likely to stock them in the iPad Rehab Supply Shop. Just FYI. All right, let's get this tinned up with new shit. All right, another question on iPhone 7 after screen repair boot loops, and I hard restore it, and it gives me error 4013. So that means something got fucked up on your NAND chip, most likely, or we don't really know. Whoops, missed that, sorry. So, the iPhone 7 is going to be tough because I don't know that any of the NAND reprogrammers will do an iPhone 7, but we will stay tuned. Maybe somebody will do that. Where do you get all your power and patience? From the gym. Can you open a PC with that tool? I don't know. Can you?
I assume you could open a laptop with it, yeah. You use it to pop out the keyboards and stuff. Maybe some digitizer repairs, you know, if you guys are doing touchscreen repairs on laptop computers. Yeah, you could definitely use the tool to remove the digitizer.
Can you open a PC?
As far as opening the actual unit.
If you are asking about opening a PC with, I would recommend a screwdriver.
A screwdriver would probably be a good starting point.
What do I know? All right. Happy to invest in as many tools as I need to. I want one. Where to buy, guys? You should buy it from the iPad Rehab Supply Store or Jason's website. But probably you should buy it from the iPad Rehab Supply Store. All right, so let's get this on here. All right. Or you can buy it from Jason on eBay, or you can buy it from iPad Rehab Supply. All right, let's line up these windows. Let's line up these winders. All right, here we go. So let's get mini hot tweezers, and while putting pressure on that, we are gonna solder this one joint down. I watched a movie on this lady that designed a a mop that you could take the head off, and then you could put it in the washing machine. It was on an airplane, some air trip. And, you know, it was funny. It was like this whole movie about how hard it is to make, manufacture, distribute a product. You know, It sounds like a hard thing to do. And then she ended up, like, going to one of those, like, home shopping network places. And they had, like, all this science research. But it kind of feels like that right now. Like, you know, like a home shopping network ad, you know, where you're like, so let's open up, can we open up a can of cat food with that? It's 1,000,001 household uses. You know, that's like, yeah, that's pretty funny. I think you should do now, like, as seen on YouTube.
As seen on YouTube.
You should put a little like
scrape gum from the desk.
Scrape gum from the
teachers need to start using this tool. You know, keep all your desks clean.
I know what it needs to be. It should be. Is your workstation covered in mason chips?
I actually cleaned my station with that tool. All the glass and stuff.
Wait. That's what I really want to try. All right, give it back to me. This is what I really want to try. Do I? Oh yeah, here it is, right in front of me. All right, this is. Look how bad this is. Like at the end of course. Oh my God! Look at all the chips on my station. Look at that.
Wiper.
All right. Oh yes, this is great. It's like a table cover. This is totally versatile. I have to say. There we go. Look at how many different chips.
You're not on the refrigerator.
Oh, you can't really see anything under the microscope. Look at that. Doo-doo. Just like all these chips. That's pretty sweet. Boom. Also cleans crumbs from your dinner table, right? Tired of your kids leaving cold peas stuck to your table? All right, here we go. Oh, here comes Raj. Raj has a question. Raj says, fuck you. It's a fucking iFlex, you fucking copier. Except he says it really like, he says, is this magic glass tool not the same as the iFlex? So tell us about that.
It's not, Raj. The magic glass tool was created before the iFlex. It's definitely.
How do you know that? How do we know that's true? How do we know that? So you say you were first.
I was first, yes.
All right, and how do you know? Like how's
kind
that?
of like an issue of the
this
big guy.
This sounds like interesting
guy.
drama. This sounds like the juicy stuff. Do tell.
Yeah. So about 2.5 years ago, we went all around the U.S. looking for partners, and it took us a while. Like I said, there was a lot of research and development involved in the tool, and definitely took us a while to come out with the tool. And we didn't just want to come out with another product that says it does something and it doesn't. We used this tool for over a year, tested it on all sorts of devices. And once we really felt the need that we were good to go, we rolled out with it.
Well, what about the iFlex? Who do you think?
So the Magic Glass tool, definitely a more versatile, resilient tool than the iFlex. You can do a lot more with this tool than you can do with the iFlex.
What I want to know is, what was it like the day that you saw that there was a thing called the iFlex?
Oh, it was rough.
You woke up that morning, and then what?
No, I was awoken.
You was awoken
at about 4 o'clock that morning.
Okay.
From like 6-7 phone calls, and my friend's like, go, dude, look, you gotta go on this website, follow the link, dude, they got your tool. And I'm like, to me it wasn't really much of a concern, because everybody does what everybody else does. I don't pay attention to what everybody else does. I just focus on what I need to do to be successful.
Yeah.
And here we are now.
Yeah.
We've sold hundreds of tools. People love the product. People feel comfortable with the product.
Yeah. So, what did you do that day? Did you have to drink a bottle of wine?
No. That day, actually, I just jumped on the phone, started making some phone calls, and we just started moving forward.
Did those phone calls sound like, "Who the fuck took my idea"?
It kind of was like that. Yeah.
That's what I think it would be like.
Everybody can always steal your idea. You don't ever want to get caught up on somebody else trying to copy you.
Was it like, Mikey, you told me I didn't have to patent this. I wish you, God, fucking fired. No, none of that.
No.
All right. Yeah, that would suck, but it's also kind of flattering. I think that's happened to somebody in the industry recently, where he was clearly the first guy to do something, and then another guy did pretty much the same thing, but it was obvious. It was like 2 weeks later, and it was kind of like, well, that's sort of a statement of flattery to some degree, where somebody else thinks, oh yeah, that was a really good idea. So much so that I'm going to copy that idea, even though I know that it's going to be obvious to a lot of people that I boldface copied you.
Yeah.
But I think the idea is so strong, I'm willing to take that risk and do it anyway, because I think that will pay off to be in my best interest. I think that's pretty interesting. All right. I fucked up this, by the way, so that's why I have to do it again. I was doing too much trolling. All right, let's see. It looks like a polished piece of Coke can. Kind of, but it doesn't have any Coke can label, which I think you should definitely add. I think you should be able to get skins. Yes. This tool makes total sense. We'll buy. Magic Glass tool. Can never have too many tools. Maximum effort. He sounds like a very good salesman. Hire him, Jessa. I did. I'm hiring him to source tools for iPad Rehab Supply. He found this thing called Magic Glass tool. It's going to be great.
And I just want everybody to know, anybody that's on the fence about coming here and taking this course, stop it. Immediately stop it. If you're serious about furthering your skills, this is the only place you need to be.
Yeah, he is a good salesman. Damn.
It's easy to sell things when you speak with confidence.
Yeah.
I took the course. I told my family I could have walked away after the first day and probably been comfortable with what I learned on the first day for the price of the course.
Wow, damn.
That's how confident I felt. No, and I'm being honest.
I do remember you on the first day, because I asked, like, you were the one. I was like, so are these two joints the same? You're like, yeah. And I was like, actually no. And then you were just like, holy shit. And I remember there was a lot of that on the first day. That was really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, you guys got to watch my buddy John Robinson from the 60s on the first day. I really like that.
Fundamentals. Like I said,
Yeah.
fundamentals. It will always go down to the fundamentals.
I mean, that stuff seems dumb.
Really good.
I mean,
Really good.
it seems like, oh god, like film strip time in high school. But I don't know. I think then you keep coming back to it. Like even today, where it was like, see, oxidation. That's why that didn't work.
Because the thing, you replace a connector, you think it's bad, but because you might not have one proper joint on that connector, you could totally go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Like you guys hear all the time.
Going down the rabbit hole.
At the end of the day, it was just a joint.
Yeah. All right. 1610, so TriStar chip, I charge with 1 amp. Great. If you take the 1610A3 with iPad charger, it does 1.8 amp. Well, if you're using an iPad charger on one example and you're using an iPhone charger in the other example, then that's going to be a big difference there. That doesn't sound like a question, so that's great. That's just a statement. What do you use to anti-static? Well, these benches are ESD grounded, and they're ESD safe benches. So pretty much that. All right, I put a new charge port on here.
Someone asking about the course.
So how do I take a course with you? Go to the iPad Rehab website, look around, and read it. I mean, the course is really demanding. You don't really have to have a lot of incoming knowledge. You really don't. But you have to be analytical, troubleshooting minded kind of person. You have to be able to find this stuff interesting and really like to solve a problem. So something like, how do I sign up for the course, would be the first problem that you have to solve. Mm-hmm. You have to go figure that out. You have to show that you can kind of think outside, think. You just gotta think. That's it. Just gotta think. All right, let's stick this in here. and see what is up. All right. Jason's like, this by the way was totally like, oh, I just rode a motorcycle with one of the students at the end of the course. We're like, all right, so we're done. So 2 guys go catch the plane. I rode a motorcycle, and then he's like, oh yeah, what about you want to check out my tool? Yeah, I'll check out your tool. Check out your tool, fine. And then I was like, all right, hey, how about you just open this iPad? Okay, I'll open the iPad. Oh, well, let's do a stream. Okay.
It's been like that so many times. So I'm like, oh, check out my tool, and then they're like, all right, here, iPad, go do it right now.
Yeah, you're like,
do it right on the spot.
Inventing this tool has made me have to fix so many people's iPads. Yes. But it is kind of, I mean, you got to be sort of used to the sweatshop vibe around here anyway, at least by now. You know, the kind of go fix this, go fix that shiz going on. All right. When we opened up our store, we spent $4,000 on parts for iPhones. Oh, ouch, from Wholesale Gadget Parts.
Oh, man.
Ouch, boo, painful, ow. Unless Jessa has a better wholesale supplier. Anybody but Wholesale Gadget Parts. That would
Wholesale garbage parts.
Wholesale garbage parts. E. I like that. Let's see. Let's try to name, let's do something else, Mark. Mark,
What?
try to name worse part suppliers than Wholesale Gadget Parts.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so I've just done my charge port job. Did it make it solve my charging problem or no? No. Okay, so that's pretty typical thing. I'm charging at very low current, so I am going to test it with a known good battery because
You do not have a board problem unless you have a parts problem.
unless you know you
don't have a parts problem.
I know, you gotta rework that for me a minute. You don't have a board problem unless you know you don't have a parts problem. Yes, I like that. But so you tell me, how does the battery influence charging? Like, what's all this business with us going crazy with this battery connector? Like, do you remember any of this stuff?
Yeah. Without having that screw alone for the iPads, it might not connect right. It might not make a proper connection with the battery how it should.
Yeah, so we talked about positive, negative. Mm-hmm. Name one of these other 3 ones.
Data line.
Yeah, what kind of data? Come on, come up with it.
Just data from the battery itself.
Like what? Gas gauge, that's one.
Mm-hmm.
And then
percentage, battery percentage.
That's the same as gas gauge. Oh. It's hot in here.
What other type of data lines?
Temperature. That's why I said it's hot in here. That was my hint.
But I thought the gas gauge took care of temperature.
It does in the 5S, but not in the air. Okay. And then there's that extra one in the air, which is battery sense, and that is current sensing for the battery, and that really has to be on there. And it's even worse in the Pro, where there's another one. I don't even know what it is. But if these guys if you don't get that battery sense line making good contact, that's one of the thumbs up green lights for the PMIC. So the PMIC, this was Sean's problem.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Where he had, the thing would charge initially,
but it wouldn't.
And then it wouldn't if you unplugged
and
plugged.
and
right.
It, yeah.
So then we went and looked for what is the thumbs up required for charging. So one was that OVP switch enable line from TriStar. That was one thumbs up going to the PMIC, and the other was battery sense. So it has to get that green thumbs up from the battery. And then in his case, it was what could explain why you would get initially a thumbs up from TriStar, and then it would stop when you unplugged and plugged it back in. So that's what led to the excuse me line, the interrupt line. That if that line was the only thing damaged within TriStar, that it could initially, this is all hypothesis, that maybe initially the PMIC paid attention to TriStar when you prompted boot, but then when you pulled it out and then you plugged it back in, it might send that signal to the PMIC for thumbs up charging, but the PMIC also needed, excuse me,
Attention
listen
people.
to the TriStar. And so that was the theory. I mean, his, in the end, it was charging, and then it kind of seemed to be like hard to understand. It was hard to test because of the not having the native battery. All right, I'm going to grab a battery housing, and let's see. Let's see. I'm going to pinch your idea and mount it on a fidget spinner. Would save loads of time. Ha ha ha. All right, so did the opener work well? Yeah, it really, really did. It really did.
You want one of these iPad Air housings?
Yeah. Does it say good battery in it?
Nope. It says number 2.
Oh, okay. Number 2. Air test. All right. Let's hope it's good. Because I'm not in charge of the airs. That's Christy's domain. And I don't know what is her good stuff and not. That's one of the main things. We need to go through these known good parts and get them to be like proven again. You know, there's way too much of the known goods that are kind of like, it used to be good. I don't know. There's a lot like
now
that.
They're just known parts.
Yeah, now they're just parts. Known.
We know where it is.
Yeah, exactly. They're known where they are parts. Oh, where did I put that battery screw? Battery screw is super important. All right. iPad Rehab Jessa, help me then. Who do you suggest that we use for wholesale parts? All right, that word wholesale means cheap. That means you're trying, what I read that as, where can I get cheap parts so that I can charge cheap prices and therefore outcompete my competitors without having to actually use good parts? And that model's not going to work. So if you delete the line wholesale parts and just say, where can we get good parts, then we can make some recommendations. So I would recommend for domestic part suppliers, we like to recommend iFixit. So iFixit Pro, go sign up for your Pro discount. You'll get good parts from iFixit. You can also go check out Injured Gadgets. We like their parts as well. And we also like what Michael Oberdick does at elevatesupply.net. He's starting to sell some parts as well. But primarily, most people that are actually doing board repair or doing just screws and glues, general repair at any kind of volume, they find a supplier in China and buy directly from China. So buying parts directly from China is what most people in the industry that are professionals do. And then if you just need the occasional here and there part, then you use a domestic supplier. All right, I'm going to have to steal another screw here. Wait, I'll steal it from this one here. All right. Who do we use for wholesale part? What would you say about part sourcing?
Parts sourcing, the parts are only as good as the person that's selling them. You can get a lot of feedback from the person that's telling you what kind of parts they have in stock, and if they even care about the type of parts that they have in stock. A lot of companies are glad to be able to sell you known good quality parts that they know you're not going to send them back because that's their motto of their company. But then you have a lot of people, you know, like Jessa mentioned the word wholesale. Everybody always wants to do cheap. Everybody always wants to find the cheaper solution, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but in this industry, you just can't do cheap. You're dealing with people's personal devices. The phones have changed a lot nowadays, a lot of personal information, and you trying to save $5 on a battery and you connect that battery and fry the person's board. I mean, there's not too much sense in that.
All right, so we have stuck this in our known good housing, and it's the same low, practically no charging, which I really now want to make sure that it will not be detected in DFU mode. So I'm putting it on the computer because that other battery could have just been stone dead. I didn't bother to measure it. So let's just see that. I wish it was that easy to buy parts from the factory. Hear good things about Elevate Supply, but have not tried them personally. Hi from a bunch of places. Jessa, can I swim in your vault and then go out for a steak dinner without Pepe, though? No. Hi, Rodney Small. Where are you? Butterflies, please. I'm a fix-it mum. Can you help, please? If you ask a question, because otherwise I would be highly suspicious that you're actually Lewis trolling me with yet another screen name so that he can ask me the iPhone repair questions that are on the Rossmann iPhone data recovery section without having to actually ask me to answer them personally.
You would never do that.
He would never not do that. Wholesale equals eBay. Thanks, Jessa. We want a good reputation and good quality, so we don't have a problem spending the money. So thanks for the advice. You are welcome. And yay, we're close to the end. Okay, so let's declare that that is not detected by iTunes. So what is the last thing that we should do on this board, just kind of to kind of do all the sort of oil change things without having to actually probe around and measure shit? Because I don't think that either one of us are signed up for probing around and measuring shit, at least not right now, because we've been here all fucking day. What should we change? What chip do you think is reasonably enough to have been damaged in an unopened iPad Air?
Probably the TriStar chip.
Probably the TriStar chip. So let's go with that. So let's go ahead and just change it out just on basis of signature problems. And then we will see if that doesn't solve, then we've kind of done the general sort of full Monty on iPad Air charging. And if not, then it'll be a fun one where we have to measure lines and shit, but not right now because I'm too fucking tired. Then it will be a fun one. Like Sean's. Sean's was a fun one.
I was laughing when, Mark, when you guys made the bet the other night, you're like, if you do this, we'll leave in 5 minutes, and if I'm right, then we still leave in 5 minutes. That was pretty funny. Win-win situation.
Okay, here we go. All right, so does this chip have underfill? Let's see. All right, look at that. Does that TriStar have underfill? What do you think?
Yes.
Yes. Bummer. Wah, wah, wah. All right, so that makes this one. iPad Air TriStar is probably one of the tougher TriStars just because of that. Because it's also right up on the underfilled ass of the NAND chip.
Of the NAND?
Of the
so
NAND.
Is directly on the other side right there?
Right here. So
That's
it's just
tough.
like neighbors. Yeah, so that makes it kind of a bitch. But the NAND is pretty chill. It's not as much of a pussy as like the backlight driver.
So would you
anything
put
like
two
that.
heat sinks on those? One on the TriStar and one on the NAND?
Well, not when I'm trying to take TriStar off, no.
Okay.
But I will put one on the NAND, yes. Yes, I will. All right. So this, I got to do low heat to cut my underfill. Otherwise, it's going to just rip off all of those little dudes along with it. All right, so let's go down to
This
that.
is pretty interesting. Chris
What?
Long.
Chris Long, where is he? Would
Last
you
week.
call a local competitor to ask them to stop attempting board level repairs if those repairs were ending in phones either not working or other items on the phone not working? Yes, 100%, 1,000%.
I wouldn't call.
But-
I would go down.
Whoa,
in
whoa, whoa.
person
Yeah,
And talk to the owner.
for sure. It's always good to
I
call
wouldn't.
people.
I wouldn't call either and just say like, "Hey, stop." I would. Can you grab an omnibus because I don't have one. Now, see, we'll start raping the stations. Yes, students are gone. It's time to have a free for all.
I'm telling
That
Sunday.
no tell Sunday. Don't tell her. I would not just go down there and demand that you cease and desist because you're fucking with boards. I would have a diplomatic conversation. I would plan that conversation so that they could have a face-saving way to make a positive relationship with you. So that means that you would need to put some thought into what you're going to say, and it would be something that would ultimately flatter them about, I know you guys do a good job. I always hear really good things about you. We see a lot of cell phone repair shop guys. No one thinks we are the cheap bastards that rate people's phones and don't give a shit. No one thinks that. That is not how anyone in this industry sees themselves. No one thinks, yeah, fuck the customers, man. We're trying to make a living. We got to throw the cheapest shit on there as possible and laugh our asses all the way to the bank. Ha ha, fuck those guys. No one thinks like that. Every single person in iPhone repair sees themselves as a savior of phones. The worst tech in the world has a story of how he and only he put back together somebody's phone, and that they really saved the day, and they're really proud of that story. So every single person in cell phone repair sees themselves as a white knight of sorts. So you can't go down and say, you guys are the idiots, and you're fucking up shit, and I want you to stop because I'm better than you. That's not going to work. You can't do that. That plan is gonna backfire in a hurry. So you have to kind of keep in mind and accept that the people that you're wanting to kind of, you didn't see any of that. I was like off the screen the whole fucking time. The people that you're wanting to deliver this message to, they are going to see themselves as people that are good at this and doing the best they can, and their heart is going to be wanting to do the best for their customers. Every single person wants to point at somebody else. Like, those guys use wholesale gadget parts. We just did the exact same thing. Those guys don't know how to put their screws back in the place. Everybody is like that. We always, and every shop has some bad tech. Everybody's got has a bad day. Everybody's gonna leave something out of a phone or make a mistake or fuck something up. But in general, everybody thinks of themselves as a quality place for customers to get a good value, and that everybody's got a story of how they saved the DIY fuck up because I'm good at this and they're not. That's how everybody thinks. So you have to go down there and you need to say something to the tune of, I know that you guys do a good job and I've heard a lot of good things about you. And, I've been doing this for a long time, and, people send us board repairs from all over the world. And it sounds like you guys are starting to do some board repairs. So I think that's great. And I wanted to, to kind of offer to help you guys out. And I wanted to, make sure that you guys knew that there was somebody available locally that you could bounce ideas off of. Some kind of a easy question like that to start building a rapport where ultimately you befriend the technician who's actually doing the board repairs, and then you could kind of do some training and
That sounds good.
get them to either refer shit to you or give up. Could someone translate what they say into Spanish? Do you speak Spanish?
See,
All right, go ahead. Just translate that whole fucking hour, and I'll get this chip off.
there's a Spanish iPad rehab channel.
I get that a lot,
There's
though.
probably an iPad rehab in Colombia. You just know.
I have gotten a lot of requests for like translation stuff, and
I wouldn't be surprised.
I did get somebody saying, "I will translate your channel,"
Oh wow.
and and I'm like, I didn't know what to say. Like,
That would just be too annoying.
I'm like, I say fuck a lot. I'm not sure this is a good idea. I don't really know. All right, so oh good, you can kind of see this. I think my camera is at a weird angle up there to get this shit off. So what would you do, Jason, to somebody that you've now seen like 4 boards in a week with solder balls popping out of the CPU, what would you do?
I think definitely calling them would be a little too aggressive. I think it's important to educate people. I've definitely been, there's been points during my repair career where I haven't been doing something right. I have been having an issue, or actually causing a problem to where I needed somebody to point it out to me. Hey, you're not doing this right, but maybe you should possibly try these other options. You can't be hard-headed either. If somebody who's been in the industry for so long is willing to take their time out of their day to come to you and let you know, hey, you are not doing this right, or there's another way where you could be doing this better, you should definitely sit down and listen. It's very good to humble yourselves when somebody else wants to help you out.
Yeah.
But just like you are the knowledgeable person at this point, at one point you were not, and I highly doubt that you gained all your knowledge on your own.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we have good relationships with our local peeps, and they're funny because like I know the one local batteries and bulb guy was called us for a quote on some connector, which for us was $69.99, which is a pretty basic thing, and then they called up one of our other local shops who we also have a good relationship with, and they were like, I called iPad Rehab. They want $69.99 for this iPad connector. Can you believe that? So I want to call you. What's your price? And she said, well, I'll charge you $79.99 to drive it down there to him. And I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, we have a good relationship with the Solaris guys from the mall, which probably isn't a natural friendship that you'd predict, but those guys are good, and they too, they feel like they are solving problems, fixing phones, doing good in the world, and they're nice guys, and they come out here and they're just like, wow, I'd really love to come to the course, and they'll send data recovery jobs our way. So I don't know, it's a family. Like there's a new You Break I Fix coming in, which means I will go over there and say hi and ask them if they need some help.
Jess is
training.
Gonna scare the shit out of everybody. That's what she's gonna do.
Well, it was funny. I did go down to the batteries and bulbs, and I just happened to be having lunch at the pita pit next door. So I was like, oh, look, there's a cell phone shop. I'll go in there. And just wanted to kind of go in and like drop off a card and say, if you guys ever need some help with any kind of board level stuff, data recovery, or if you fuck something up and need a rescue, we'll give you a card for your soldering stuff. So I go in there.
The projector?
Huh? Oh yeah, fuck. I can't be in charge of all this shit. So I'm just cleaning the underfill off of the pads. So I did that, and I go in there, and then the tech, comes out. Oh my God, it's Chessa! Oh, okay, so, yeah, we already have your card. Oh, okay, great. That was pretty funny. Yeah, same thing happened. It was kind of funny. I went into a random cell phone repair shop when I went to my grandfather's funeral, and I needed a charger. So I roll into this random cell phone repair shop and said, do you guys have any chargers that are not going to kill my TriStar chip? And they were like, And then they're like, this one's very good. No one ever comes back. No one ever complains. And I look, it's not certified. It's not made for iPhone. I was like, fail. No. And then I said, so I guess you guys get a lot of customers coming in with charging problems that aren't solved with a charge port. Yeah.
Main problem.
Yeah. So I gave them my card, and then they were like, wait a minute, are you on YouTube? Yeah, so, oh my God, I thought you looked really familiar. I've watched your videos, blah, blah, blah. Well, then you should know to stop fucking with people's TriStars. Okay, yeah, well, that'd be great. So let's get this chip on and see. All right, the part that stinks is that they blame the customer. Wait, Michael Oberdick, is this you or
Yeah.
Chris Long? Didn't Chris Long ask that question? I don't get it. All right. What IC is she working on? The iPad Air TriStar. So we are going to stick on. Notice how I didn't braid? Look at my beautiful, beautiful pads. So Jason, what do you think about braiding? What's your opinion on braiding for chips?
Braiding is definitely a no-go. During this class, you know, we definitely even without braid, you know, if you're not using the proper technique for balling these pads and taking your time and staying above the board, puffy pillows, the whole nine, you will rip pads without using no wick whatsoever. So imagine if you throw a wick into the mix, you've just increased your chances of lifting up a pad.
Yeah, think about if you had wick on that Mason job.
I would have probably
That
taken out
would
6, 7
have been.
pads.
You were like, I would have left here on time, so.
Wick is bad, and I never really knew, you know, how bad wicking was. You see all the videos, everybody does it, you know. Hey, I see the whole world wicking, I'm gonna wick too, you know. But it's not until you actually go through it and you lift up a shitload of those pads and you're like, oh, why did I even do that from the first place? Just because everybody else is doing it doesn't necessarily mean it's okay for you to do it, or that it's even okay to do.
All right, I want to hear about the. So Michael Oberdick and Chris Long, what franchise are you talking about? Nobody likes it when everybody talks through veiled shit. We want to know what's going on. I'll give you 3 choices. You break, I fix and repair, CPR, or what's another one?
Dr. Phone Fix.
Dr. Phone Fix. Or Solaris. So tell us which franchise is fucking up phones in your area, because people need to know. And we want to give you the right advice based on franchise. We're talking about a franchise. I love the Chris Long hot air wick style. Yeah, don't sandpaper fairy wings. Boom, that's right. Chris Long fixed the worst LSD I've ever seen on an iPhone 6. Is it the one that you had to tell? Is it the one where you had to tell Mark Schaefer, "I'll buy you a beer if you don't tell Jessa. I'll never hear the end of it." Was it that one or a different one? I don't know. Okay. I am going to put this on. Let's see. I've been following your channel for quite some time now. In Nigeria, where I come from, women don't easily go into repair business, so I'm overwhelmed by your skills. Well, thank you, Nigerian dude, and I will refrain from making any banking jokes. All right. Can you please help me transfer gigantic cash treasure to your American bank?
Million. You keep them.
We saw one of those the other day. And Ronnie suggested replying with, sounds like a good deal, but I don't want to keep the money. What I really need is to marry off my daughter, and I'm short by 2 goats and 1 cow. Can you just, I'll transfer the money, but can you just pay me in 2 goats and 1 cow? He thought that would be a hilarious reply to that. I don't know if they actually did or not. I thought that was pretty funny. Now, what do you do when you get those emails? Do you ever string them along, or do you just hit ignore?
I just hit delete, but I have
stringing them along is fucking fun.
I have seen the videos on YouTube where they call the freaking centers, you know.
Yeah.
It's fun. This one guy actually sent one of them a virus.
Oh yeah.
My credit card number, yeah, here. Just you have to log into my computer. Click on that link I just sent you, and the guy starts going, "Oh no,
oh no,
not good. It's not my computer. It's very bad. Why you do this to me? Why you do this to me?
Because I'm an asshole." That's pretty funny. Oh my gosh, that is funny. All right. Pepe's neighbor. That was a 6+. Oh, that one was a 6+. Yes. That still doesn't have image if Mason chip is installed. All right, let's ask a question about if a single particular thousandth times reballed Mason chip is installed, or just like any one of like a strip of new one. Has no image if Mason is installed. All right. It boots not. It's like it boots now. But if Mason is on, no image. Right. Problem
Oh,
solved.
Chris Long.
Yes. I sent them tiny link to meat spin. After getting close to 10 of those calls, they get hung up on. PDQ. When was the last time you said PDQ? Pretty damn quick. Yep, so everybody else has the nice little jokes. We don't know what meat spin means. Too old for that. What, Mark? I need a consult on the youth of today,
Yeah.
the young generation. I don't know what meat spin means, and I cannot differentiate if that's actually just a typo.
It's a website that is,
Yes?
I would say, worse than Lemon Party, but not quite as bad as Two Girls, One Cup.
Oh! What about Space Sticks? How does it compare?
I would, if Space Sticks is a 10, Meat Spin's like a 2.
Oh, that's nothing then. You need to send them a link to Space Sticks, says Jessa.
So Chris Long said he's installed 5 Mason chips.
5 different ones? All right, why did you install more than 2? That's what I want. Why would you ever do anything 5 times? That's retarded. I don't get that. Tell me your rationale. Under what theory does changing a chip more than twice ever solve anything? Have you ever had a time where, man, 5th time's the charm? Mark, have you ever installed 5 chips? Just bang, 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 bang.
Or batteries or screens.
Bang.
I think that time I got the bad batch of TriStars. And at that point it was just to see if any of them were good.
All right. That I could get behind that. Would you ever, under any circumstance, install 5 Mason chips in one iPhone ever?
I suppose the circumstances could exist, maybe.
The circumstances could exist, maybe. That sounds like a no. I can't imagine ever doing that unless unless what? Unless I was kept like dropping coffee on the board while after I was done and like kept water damage, you have to keep lifting them up.
If I was using Rebald chips.
Ooh, if I was using Rebald chips, yes. But I would never do that, so that's not really a thing. Because he needed something to do on a 5-hour live stream. Yes. All right. Haters gonna hate. Oh, Chris Long. Guess what? That would be, yeah, that would suck.
Was he texting me during a live stream?
Were you, here, follow-up question. Were you texting Mark during a live stream for a little help? Let's see. Jessa, thank you for your explanation of Mark, fill in the blank. Jessa, thank you for your explanation of blank, by the way. I learned it works the opposite to what I thought. Fill in the blank, Mark.
I had nothing.
Jessa, thank you for your explanation of dietary fiber. True.
That's actually what I was gonna guess.
What? You cannot claim that.
I thought
Fail.
it was way too out there. There's no way.
And after TriStar, it's still the same, which is charging at a strange value, 0.28, which is what it's been like this whole entire time. So at this point, I'm not convinced that this ever was a charging issue, and I am suspicious that this thing just doesn't boot. So this really is, in my mind, likely a no power board, and that we need to establish why it's not powering on. So we'll have to kind of do some research. So, if this board, let's say, has a short on some power rail or an open circuit or a dead NAND or something like that, then that would make it not charge. I just thought it would be fun to throw some chips around while we took a look at Jason's tool, the Magic Glass tool. So we're getting ready to be done. So you want to tell anybody that just kind of joined about this tool? This is what this stream was about.
So yeah, guys, whenever the stream stops being live, you can always go back to watching the stream over again. And we were demonstrating the Magic Glass tool. As you guys can see, the tool is extremely thin. Definitely a great tool to have in your tool arsenal to be able to do Samsung digitizers, Microsoft Surface tablets, Apple iPads, iPhones, you name it. I mean, the tool is very, very versatile. You can really use it for all sorts of different things. And the thinness, I mean, it's awesome. It's really, really good.
Yes.
It'll help you get into all of those screens that just do not have the clearance to be able to get a tool in there.
Yeah, so I tried this. I've not opened an iPad in like a year, and we're just finishing up practical board repair school. Everybody was leaving, and Jason's like, "Hey, what about you want to look at my tool?" Not really. Did you find that the level of inappropriate jokes was inappropriate?
No, it's necessary.
It's necessary.
It's necessary.
All right, so he showed me his thing, and he brought it up, and I told him, yeah, I'll watch the video, but I didn't. And so he's like, what do you think? Fine. So I was like, this does actually seem pretty cool. It's like the iFlex, but it was first. Yes. God fucking damn it. Hear that? And it's different though. It's definitely thinner, and it really is pretty sturdy. So I was like, that actually does seem pretty cool. And I am not a fan of most things. Most gadgety things I think are stupid, except for the love handle, which is fucking awesome. Where is my phone anyway? Yeah, the love handle.
Yeah.
Gadget saves my life. This thing is amazing, and I absolutely love it. So I was like, this does seem pretty cool. So we happen to have this iPad Air here for, quote, not charging, which we didn't really test or diagnose or anything. We just thought, hey, let's try to open it up. So I stuck it on the heat mat for a few minutes, not very long. And then I opened it, which I've not opened an iPad in a year. And it was really easy. What the cool thing about it is that it would easily get under there. So it's way thinner than the iSesamo. It's way thinner, but it seems kind of, despite being so thin, it seems similarly sturdy. Like these seem really similar, but this is way thinner than the iSesamo.
How much are they?
$100. But for you, for a limited time, if you call now,
Jason, how much is it?
$7.99, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah, $7.99.
Yep.
All right, I'll trade you 2 Masons for it.
2 Masons?
Nice. Two Mason chips.
I'll keep you on call. 2 calls. How about that?
Ooh, 2 calls.
2 calls.
Wow. That's pretty good.
You're like, all right, Mark, I really need
just sold one to Mark for 2 calls. And so I thought it was cool. So then I opened it. What I liked about it is that it was really super easy to get under the lip of the iPad. And then when you kind of slide down, it's kind of, this curve makes it kind of really have this sort of natural wiggle that cuts through the adhesive. And then this is the thing that gets me with all these tools. Whenever you do that, then whatever you're using is filled up with the shitty ass fucking adhesive. So it's all then gummy and sticky. But this is cool because then you can just kind of like turn it around and like keep turning it around so that it's always clean. So you can kind of like, by the time you get down with one side, then you flip the iPad over, you can just take the dirty side and turn it away from you and then just do the same thing like that. So it really was like exceptionally cool. I thought it was awesome. And then you can twist with it like with the heft as if it was an iSesamo, but it's much thinner. So then got the screen off and then didn't really do any real diagnosis like, hey, let's see if this thing boots. We skipped that.
Yeah.
We went straight for, it says it's here for charging. Let's just believe them. And yeah, it's not charging. So let's put some charge port and a TriStar on here and try it in a new housing. And that didn't do a goddamn bit of difference. So my suspicion is that it's actually not booting, in which case we need to go to troubleshoot no power And since we've been here for officially 12 hours, fuck that shit. So I'm gonna make a deal here with Jason, and we'll put some of these up in the iPad Rehab supply store. He's also selling them on eBay under
Smart Tech Innovators.
Smart Tech Innovators, and it's called the.
Well, you should definitely support Justin.
And it's called the Magic Glass Tool, and it comes with a Michael Jackson glove. That apparently is not lame, but I didn't actually look at that. Yeah, so there we go, Magic Glass Tool. Alrighty, so we will see you guys next time.
Peace.
All right, let me hit stop streaming, and we're done.